この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am back for more Non Biyori. That's right, it's Wednesday and we're doing, it's Friday, it's days of the week, it's Sunday and we're doing it again. And yes, I DM'd yesterday and I'm still up and ready to go. We're gonna watch Non Biyori. We're starting with episode 40 of Non Biyori, and we'll probably watch 4 and 5. I don't know. It'll depend on how much we want to talk about it, but I'm chilling. I don't see why we wouldn't watch 2, so we'll probably watch 2. Show continues to be good. I just have bad scheduling, so let's fix that and continue watching more of Non Biyori. I'm excited. So, last time in episode 3, we had a cool ruler game, and then Hotaru and Komari got lost in the woods because their flashlight died, and they had some pretty cute moments of trying to figure out how the hell to get back home, and eventually they did, thanks to a dropped bottle cap. In episode 4, our characters all focused around studying for tests that were coming up. Natsumi sucks at this, but we ended up focusing in the last half of the episode on Renge trying to get Nene to get a little bit of motivation and be a little bit of an inspiration to her students, and not just be the laziest teacher in the entire universe, and it was pretty cute. We got a stinger moment that had like a little hanging doll, a little Teeaboo, which have something to do with rain, either bringing rain or making it go away. I forget which one it is, but I think we will probably find out, because probably that'll be a factor in this episode, and I'm excited to see what that's all about. Regardless, I think we're gonna have fun, cute episodes. I'm still sort of waiting for an emotional sucker punch episode, like an episode that has some weight to it, that really comes out and gets us. So far there have been little hints of that in the way that these characters interact with each other, and that's really good, but there hasn't been a big boom like the Renge cry moment, and I don't know that there necessarily will be, but I am sort of keeping an eye out for it and looking out for that, because it'll be interesting when it happens. I think that's all I want to say here at the beginning, so let's go ahead and dive on in to Non Biyori Repeat, episode 4. So I've got it up and ready to go. I'm still using the Toy Shy version, Japanese audio, English subtitles, good to go. It's up and ready. There will be 2 versions, picture in picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep beep timer to count you down. Let's get straight into it. Oh. Tanishi. Hey, there they are. Ooh. Thinking like a hunter. We know that Renge's that Renge is a hunter. Nice. Me. Ha! So many tadpole shrimp. What are those? They're not horseshoe crabs. They're calling them tadpole shrimp. I'm gonna Google tadpole shrimp. I don't think it's a thing. Yeah, it is a thing. Notostraka. Living fossils, so that makes sense. They are related to horseshoe crabs. They're weird. Oh, they're really interesting weird creatures. Okay. Sorry for getting distracted, but weird creatures are interesting. Ooh. Oh, okay. I made a fair weather charm, so a Teeaboo. Wonder who's gonna make it, Renge? Oop, little tadpole shrimps. They can't live that long, right? Kabuto ebi, I see. Uh-huh. Okay. Sure does. Mm. You are going the same place, yeah. What? Please? Yes. It's a date. What? It's not a date. Mm. 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 Haw. Haw. Nice. If it's not raining. And that's why they're gonna make it hair about you. Okay. Oh. 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 It has training wheels. It's fine. Wakata. I hope it's soon. I hope it's now. Let it let up now. Is she gonna forget about the tadpole shrimp? Are they all gonna fucking die? Is that gonna be our sad moment? Aww. You could. Aha, I know what to do. Rubber bands, tissues. It is done. The ritual is complete. Looks just right to me. Oh, make a huge one. Everything is serious to reggae, of course. Oh? What? Gonna put it in the rain outside? What are you gonna do with it? Oh, making a big one. Oh boy. She's making a giant Terra Such a fucking genius. Hey? What is this child doing? She's brilliant is what she's doing. Just made herself a Terra. Yep, that's terrifying. A terror Bozu. It's a lot of rubber bands all work together. It's gonna snap and go flying. You're in a raincoat. She's in a raincoat. Aw, just ask the sun. Yeah. Dude, somebody's gonna see you and freak the fuck out. Cool layering. What is this? Ooh. Just doing yard work. Oh no, she's just playing. What have you thought? Oh. The logic checks out, yeah. Mr. Sun, please. Please, Mr. Sun. Oh, is it letting up? No. Yeah. It's gonna be a drawn out fight. Oh no, are the eyes all smeared? Oh god. Oh no. Is she horrifying? We're not showing it now. Gonna get freaked the fuck out. Gonna get absolutely whomped. Oh, it is letting up. What a great gag. Oh no. Oh, oh, oh. Follow creepily. Do 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 do. What the fuck? What a great idea for a scene. No. I'm sure, dude. Just gotta sneak past. Stealth check, go. Oh, I keep yawning. Sorry. Oh, she's too far now, right? Oh. That is the best gag. Is she gonna be dressed as one? Is she gonna dress up as one? Is it you gonna open the door? Ah! Turn around and see the other one. The music is so good. End of bit. Yep. Amazing. Oh, what a great fucking bit. Yep, go with the classic. Let's amplify it. Oh. And it would, but he just scared the shit out of her. Of course, of course. It was just raining. Bad day for rain. Yes! Let's fucking go. What about the little horseshoe, the frog crab things? The kabuto ebi. Hi, buddies. Hello, flowers. Ah, still feeding them. Oh, they're all fucking dead. Oh, they're not all fucking dead. Good. Holy shit, that actually scared me for a little bit. Are most of them fucking dead? All of them. I knew it! Wait for Ranke, dude. She's doing something. This is important. Don't steal the journal. Okay, it's fine. Yay. It's all your fault. Yep. You take responsibility for getting the sun out. Good job. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Mm. Mm. Ooh. Ooh. Candy store. Bikes. Sick. Let's fucking go. Ranga is one of the squad now. She can bike to the candy store. Haha. Sugar, 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 sugar. Nice. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, more tadpole shrimp. Bye, nay. Ooh, nice color. Oh, there's the recorder. Hello, cat. Aww. I love that we took the time to do that. That was good. Cute. Already a super cute episode. There's still a bunch of time left. Gabba, 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 gabba. Get off me. Of course. Of course not. Uh-oh. Which one? We gonna have a funeral? Fucking hell. Oof. All of them? Yeah, I figured they don't. Oh, terrible, terrible day for rain. Hmm. No line. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, girl. That's how it goes. It's a hard thing to reconcile. Well, there it is. I was waiting for it. Hmm. Hmm. Saw. Uh-oh. Not to me. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss the bus. No timing. Wait. Ha. What did you go and get? What was the reason? I assume it's something to give to Rangi to make her feel better. It felt like that. They'll just die. They'll die anyway. Oh my god. It's nearby. Oh, they're so good. They're so cute. God damn it. I'm still sticking with the sad music. This episode feels really full. What did she go and get? Not to me. What did she go and get? Oh, this is the journal. All the memories. They all fucking died. Yup. Oh, stop it, Reggae. No. Uh-huh. God damn it. Oh, Renge. Did they lay eggs? This is what Natsume went and did, huh? They do lay their eggs in the sediment. The cycle of life. I understand. They die, but they live again. I live, I die, I live again. Ah! Oh, man. Discovery of mortality and the way around it for a child is so crazy to do that in an episode. Wow, what a face. Journal, journal, journal. More flatties. Stop it. Stop it, Joe. Stop it. Stop it. No, I refuse to feel this feel. I don't want to feel this feeling. Okay. God damn it. Why do you make a good episode? You can't be making a good episode like that. You can't be doing that, guys. Stop it. Get some help. Hmm. I rate 8 out of 8. 10 out of 10 episode of Non Biyori there. Okay. Oh, fun. Pool cleaning and stuff. Very cool. I really like this episode. I mean, like, I rate it 8 out of 8, 10 out of 10 as a Non Biyori episode. Not necessarily that Non Biyori is 10 out of 10, but this episode for Non Biyori, I think, is up there. First off, the first half has a long drawn out setup for one of the best gags in the show so far, in my opinion. It just landed super hard for me. The spooky Teru Bozu Renge coming out of the fog with like clanging sounds, straight up Silent Hill creepy shit, and then coming out with dark streaks and dripping black ichor through its eyes and mouth. Fantastically set up. Every piece of it was established and well established, and we would just watch it all come together and collide in a wonderfully hilarious way. I think this first half of the episode is really, really lovely, and we understand every bit of the motivation behind it. And we also set up the whole tadpole shrimp thing and Renge's true and serious care and interest in them, which is amazing. There are also little things like Hotaru wanting to share her umbrella and getting to do it, yes, and stuff like that, which is all lovely and wonderful. And of course, the actual motivation for this chunk, which is that there is a bike and it is new and it is shiny and it is pretty and she wants to be part of the group and ride her bike elsewhere and she can't do it because it's raining and so she wants it to not rain and she figures out the best way to do that, which is of course to become a Terubozu herself, for the sun will not see a tiny doll hanging from my porch. I will become the doll. I will become the sacrifice. And I guess it sort of works. It's all really pretty, and the musical cues all throughout this episode felt truly, truly next level. I love this moment where she goes, "Oh no, I almost gave in to the temptation of the trowel. Ah, tempting me, you trowel. I see what you're doing." And then the setup. I love that we start setting up the fog earlier, so that when we eventually have the shot of her walking through it and walking out of it, we know that it's happening. And the little setup with the black smears and smudges is great. Boom, here we are. Ding, ding, ding. Ooh. And Komari is, of course, the resident scaredy cat, and so it's just perfect that she gets absolutely whomped by this and goes running away. And of course, we chase her, and she sneaks, and we chase her. And of course, we finish it off with the double whammy at the door with a big, long, fucking silent scene of just waiting with violins going crazy. The music is so good and so tense and so intense and so like fitting but not fitting that it's just excellently timed and excellently put together. I really do think that it's my favorite gag in Non Biyori so far, pretty much. There might be one or two that are close, but that one from setup to finish is really excellent, and I really appreciate the comedic work that's put there. Okay. So, we turn ourselves into fair weather charms, and it is fair weather the next day. Ooh, Flatty, woo, they're eating, ooh, good, 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 good. I thought that some of them were already dead, but they're not. And so away we go to decide to go to the candy shop, and we do, and we just get this little moment of payoff here, where they all get to ride their bikes together. Give me candy, Takashi, Takashi. Oh, it's so great. And, oh, you made a Bozu too. Just all these little simple moments of experiencing all these things. Oh, it's so good. Get to go out and play. The little thing with the Hotaru flowers is cool. Thinking again about the tadpole shrimp is important because we keep it happening in the background throughout an entire other bit, an entire other segment. But that thing is just consistently there every couple of minutes. It's like, remember this, remember this, remember this. It's really well put together to make sure that the audience is on the same page as the authors, as the creators. And I think it's really good. And of course, everything goes dark. And we have this long, slow moment that transitions us from the humorous first section into the sadder second section. And it's just Renge chilling on her little porch patio, playing a recorder badly, learning notes as she goes, being hesitant with the notes. And it's the thing that stands out to me about the recorder playing in this scene is that there are a bunch of notes where it's like, where there's not enough force to it and there's not enough like confidence in the note to make it sound crisp and clear. It's so right. It's so right. It feels right to me. And it gives us Renge's emotional state at the moment. She's right here. Like, we spent almost a full minute just doing that, and it's amazing. Cut through her whole day to the next day, and we discover the tragedy. Natsume walks in and finds Renge standing silently, and we just hone in on her face. We do these ultra close-ups. Literally, we're cutting chin to eyebrow, right? Like, this is our close-up. That's an ultra close-up. A close-up would be here, and ultra close-up is anywhere in here or closer, right? Not moving. No talk, no nothing. Boom, bam, bang. A grave is dug, and all the flatties are put within it. And Renge just sits there, kneeling in front of the grave, staring. And nobody can really comfort her. They can just tell her the truth. They don't live very long. This is how it is. And she doesn't respond. She just sits there, and we don't look at her. We don't look at her face. We focus on her hand, and this is the classic, you focus on the hand and then a teardrop falls, but instead it's the rain. So it's unclear if any of these were tears. We'll never know, and we don't need to. It's raining. Let's go back inside. So she stands and she turns and she walks away. And Natsume sees this and has empathy for it. But she can't help but feel it. And Renge is silent and quiet and sad. Everything happens, everyone goes as normal, and she stays behind and waits and stares for another full fucking minute, with only the gentlest music and the gentle rain pitter-pattering, until she's called away, and finally, glumly, sadly, she does leave. I want to talk about this moment before we move ahead. This moment and the moment where she's in child's pose, like almost on all fours, just looking at the grave of these creatures that she was trying to take care of. I resonate with that really solidly. I've talked before on this channel about losing my dog, who I was with from when I was quite young, up until basically right before I started the channel, and how it absolutely rocked me, and the feeling of having to bury her and watching her physically die in my arms. And that was sad. It was deeply sad, and it's a moment that I hold on to because it's important, because it's mortality, and because it matters. But there's another moment that stands out in my memory that I don't think I've ever talked about on the channel, and it's another moment of being a child and coming into contact with loss. When my dog died, I was an adult, at least mostly. But when I was quite young, I lived at a different house than I lived for most of my adolescence. But when I was quite young, I lived in Westlake Village. We had a lovely little house, and in the backyard, we had a couple of fruit trees. We had an apricot tree and a plum tree, and I think a peach tree. The apricot tree was the biggest of them, and it was big enough that I could climb in when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11. And somewhere in that range, I think maybe when I was 10 or 11, probably right before or maybe right after I first got that dog. But for my whole childhood when I lived in that house, every year we would put out hummingbird feeders all year round, and all other bird feeders. My parents were really into having birds around and having a nice garden and apricot trees and things like that. So we had a bunch of flowering trees and fruiting trees, which hummingbirds love, and also bees and birds and other insects and other things all love. And we had seed feeders and we had hummingbird feeders out in the yard as well. But every year during the season, we had ruby-throated hummingbirds, which are these beautiful hummingbirds. They have bright red, almost like scaled feathers on their throats, which are the ruby throat, and other interesting colors throughout their patterns. The males have a big bright red throat, and it's part of their mating thing. But we started to realize that, and they migrate. Hummingbirds are migratory, so they're not there all year round, but when they are there, they're there. And every year, one hummingbird in particular, and we could recognize him because he was fat as fuck. And partly he was fat, but also not fat, just fluffy. This was a poofed out, healthy hummingbird, and partly we were responsible for that, because this hummingbird set up camp in our backyard and would fly around, and pretty much every morning and afternoon, we could look out the window and hear the little chirping noises that they make when they get angry. And we could see this hummingbird, who we friendlily nicknamed Ping Pong, because he's a ping pong ball, big fat ruby-throated hummingbird, zooming around our backyard, chirping at any other birds who came in and being like, nah, 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 fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, chasing down other hummingbirds and chasing them out of his territory. Our hummingbird feeders were Ping Pongs, and if anybody came into Ping Pong's territory, Ping Pong drove them away. But Ping Pong came back for years and years. Good long-lived hummingbird, really healthy, had a solid store of sugar water just waiting for him in Southern California when he decided to migrate here. And so he migrated wherever hummingbirds migrate, and then every year for about half the year would come back and would straight up live in our backyard. Would build, I assume, a little nest somewhere and would live in our backyard and may have made it, or we don't know. We just don't know, but would fiercely defend our backyard against other hummingbird intruders. And that was great. We had a cat, and when I was 10 or 11, one day, Ping Pong wasn't fast enough. Maybe he was slowing down because he was getting old. But our cat got Ping Pong and did what cats do and toyed with him. I think we didn't see it happen. All we found was the cat walking around with Ping Pong in her mouth. Or it was Aiko, so in his mouth. Yes, our cat was named Aiko. And so we had the cat drop the bird, and we put the bird, who had some injuries, a couple of stabs from cat teeth, which are almost always, and cat claws, which are almost always deadly to small animals. Cats have bacteria and other stuff that they carry in their claws and in their mouths, and they often cause infection and long drawn out slow deaths for little creatures that get bit or caught. Often you can't save them. But we put Ping Pong in a little terrarium with a little dish of sugar water that he could barely reach his little beak and was trying to stay alive. We tried to nurse the bird back to health. We cleaned up the wounds with antiseptic. We tried to ensure that there weren't any broken bones. We didn't find any snapped bones that we could see. And we tried for a number of days, I think 3 or 4 days, that we spent with this little bird in our house, inside a terrarium, unable to fly, trying to feed it, trying to keep its wounds clean and nurse it back to health. And after 3 or 4 days, it wasn't enough and it didn't work. And Ping Pong died. And again, I was 10 or 11. I was young. And this was my first real experience with real death. Of course, it's a tiny creature, right? But you have to remember that, we had little songs about Ping Pong. We'd be like, oh, ho, it's Ping Pong, the hummingbird, yada, 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 yada. I forget what it was. It was 15 years ago. We'd sing little songs and we'd laugh about Ping Pong being out there, and we'd hear him chirping and driving off other birds. There was a rapport. There was a relationship with this bird. There was a feeling toward it. And I think that's what this episode does, with all the little moments of Renge looking at and thinking about and glancing over at and studying and using the journal to talk about these tadpole shrimp. She's forming a connection with them. She gives them a name, maybe one collective name for all of them, but she gives them a name. And I remember we put Ping Pong in a nice little paper box. I would say a cardboard box, but that wouldn't be true. Imagine a paper box that you would get a stack of good note cards in, or good thank you cards or something. My mom had a bunch of those because she sold little wood carvings, and she sold little onyx candle holders and things like that, and all those would come in little nice decorative paper boxes from Pakistan, where the onyx came from, or from Indonesia, where the wood carvings came from, or from wherever. So we put Ping Pong, we put little cotton in there, put Ping Pong in a little box, biodegradable box, and buried him under the roots of the apricot tree that he had called home for a number of years, at least for parts of them, and buried him deep so that our cat and other animals wouldn't dig him up and all that stuff. But we buried him. And I remember so distinctly that I took a single feather, silvery gray feather, little tiny hummingbird feather, not from one of the wings, but from right outside of the ruby throat, with a little hint of red on it. And I took it and I framed it in a tiny little portrait frame. And I had it on my shelf for years and years and years. I don't know where it is anymore. I think when I moved out of that home, or then when I moved out of the next home, I think I must have left it behind or lost it. Honestly, it's probably down in the storage area under my dad's house, probably. It'll probably never be found. It'll probably be thrown away and nobody will know or care. But I remember, first of all, sitting next to the little pile of loose, overturned dirt and just being rocked by the experience, not having any way to really reconcile it, fully comprehending death, and understanding that this bird is gone, right? I wasn't super young. I was old enough to understand. And I was old enough at that point to have read quite a bit, a lot of fiction and a lot of nonfiction, and have read about death, and read about philosophy. Maybe not some of the deeper stuff, but for sure. But the actual experience of it isn't something that you can prepare for. The revelation of mortality, of something that was always there and now isn't, is terrifying. It lets you, it teaches you so much. But I remember that day trying to go to sleep and smashing my face into my pillow and crying my eyes out, just bawling, just crying my eyes out all fucking night. And I remember very clearly thinking that it was so stupid that I couldn't even say any words, but all I could say was ping pong. Ping pong. Just a little boy fucking crying into his bed saying ping pong over and over. It's not comedic. It wasn't fun. But it was a powerful moment that rocked me. That first real brush with death from a creature that you knew about and cared about. Seriously, seriously cared about. Really tough. And it wasn't too soon after that that I had my first experience with a family member dying. My grandmother on my father's side passed away fairly soon after that. And I don't know. I felt like I knew ping pong better than I knew her at that point. Maybe it was just because it happened first, but that death didn't rock me nearly as much. For some reason, it was the attachment to that little damn angry bird. Har har har. That got to me more. I don't know. But this moment, this drawn out moment of Renge just standing there, like, having no way to reconcile, just trying to let it in, or keep it out, or just exist. It's a freezing moment. It freezes a person. It's important to go through it, to understand loss, to understand death, because we all will experience it. Both our own death and the loss of creatures who we care about, pets, loved ones, family members. We're all going to lose something. I don't think it's worthwhile to try to, I wouldn't recommend trying to become immune to it. It's a powerful and important feeling. And I love the way that this episode continues on with it, because that feeling of loss so often turns into a potential for rebirth. So often. Now, not always. I'm not going to give you a platitude. I'm not going to give you a falsehood and say that every closed door is a new door opening. Every time something dies, something else is born. Phoenixes rise from the ashes. It's all fair and flowery, but it doesn't help. It feels like bullshit. I think what is true is that death doesn't mean the end for everything else. It's just the end for one creature. And if you care about that creature, it's the end for a relationship, for a bond. And some bonds have to end. It's just the way of things. And one day you too will become dirt. You and me and everybody else. So the way that I always think about it, most of the time, is I always think about what I end up leaving behind. What would I leave behind if I were to die right now? I could, right? Could step out onto the street, not that I do that often, get hit by a car, get isekai'd. Let's fucking go. But what would I leave behind on this world? Well, now I would leave thousands and thousands of videos. Literally thousands now. of my impressions of media, of my thoughts, my way of being, telling you about myself and my struggles, talking about the things that I love and my passions. I'm content with that legacy. I want to keep building it. I want to make it more. But it's part of the reason that I started the channel in the first place, because this record of me existing and speaking to the world and talking about the things that I love and sharing of myself will exist beyond me. It's the closest thing to permanent that I could ever make. That's kind of awesome. And then there's the other legacy, which is what will I leave behind amongst my friends and the people I've had contact with? And so I've been focused on trying to build things for them and trying to help them and trying to build myself for them. Trying to spread whatever stability, whatever good, whatever strength I can get and whatever I can muster within myself and spread it out to all of them. And that's part of the reason that Dungeons and Dragons is so much fun to me. I'm sorry to bring it up again, but it is. Being able to give the gift of a day of play, of social interaction and play to a bunch of my friends who, honestly, a lot of them don't get out that much, especially during the pandemic. And honestly, a lot of them don't have lots of adult friends. It seems like a lot of people don't. And so doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing means giving them a friend group, or trying to, or solidifying it, or something. But we've been playing for almost a year now, consistently, on one campaign, and a couple of one-shots and side characters and side campaigns and side quests and other things. There aren't a lot of friend groups that can say that they meet. Well, we meet twice a week, essentially. We meet Saturdays for D&D and we meet Fridays for party time. And they're different groups, but still. And that's a thing that I think that I'm giving out to them. So if I were to die today, that would be part of my legacy. And I think that's enough. I think that's worth it. In any case, I'm sorry to ramble and to go on tangents and talk about myself so much, even though that is what I want to do. It's just that I think this is a way of showing you just how evocative and powerful and resonant I think this whole scene with Renge really is, because I think it is really, really resonant, and I think that everybody can relate to some extent unless they've never experienced death in their life yet. And I say yet because they will, and you will. This moment stands out to me, hugely stands out to me, across the course of the show as being extremely powerful. I love this. I love Natsumi's empathy. I love her seeing Renge in turmoil and choosing to do something about it. And she does. She runs off. And she's almost late for the bus in the process. But she makes it. Let's go catch some tadpole shrimp. And Renge says, that's okay. I don't want them to die. This is the classic, right? You lose a cat. Hey, buddy, do you want to go get a new cat? No, they'll just die. They will. Or you break up with a relationship. Do you want to get back out there on the market? No, they'll just break up with me and I'll be miserable. Okay. It's so sad and so hard and so real. All right, so they're going to go to the Combini, but she doesn't go. And she writes it in her notebook. And she draws a little crying Renge, fuck you. And we just take a slow moment. No music. To let the rain sink in. Fuck. So, in we go. Huh? Why is the tank here? They bring the music in. And this transition into her absolute shock. More? More. Then we get the face. We hold, 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 we hold. We hold, we hold, we hold. Draw, 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 draw. Such a cute resolution. And the world continues on. And sun shines down. And all that we've experienced in the episode comes to an end. Okay. Does this count as a shoe drop episode, as like a heavy hit sucker punch? I think it does. I don't feel sucker punched by it. I do feel punched by it. That punched me. Thank you, Non Biyori, for your punches. You punched me. I appreciate it. I'm a masochist, apparently. That was excellent. Absolutely excellent emotional content. Also, the first half is one of the best gags in Non Biyori so far. I rate 10 out of 10 as an episode for Non Biyori. I think it's easy to say that, and I'm going to say that. I really do believe it. I think it's fucking fantastic, and good job, show. I think I'm going to wrap there. We've spent almost an hour talking about this, sort of, and it's been lovely. I'm going to wrap there for today. I am exhausted still, so I'm glad I got to record some Non Biyori. Very good. Thank you for watching so much. If you want to support the channel, it's on the Patreon. You also get early access. And I will see you hopefully next week for Non Biyori the next. Hopefully. We'll see. There might not be D&D next week, so there's a pretty good chance we'll be able to do the Bioris and the Non-Nons. So look forward to it, and I look forward to seeing you for more. If the episodes keep being this good, I might have to just binge it. I don't know. Don't get too excited. I'm probably not going to do that. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate y'all and all your support. Sorry that this episode's discussion was a little bit heavy, but I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe have something you can take from it. And I will see you next week for more Bior. Peace.